The land of the free, goes Venezuelan. What does this mean? Very simple. A drastic unilateral change of energy policy, by the Biden manipulators, is strangling the energy lifeline of the United States. High inflation is the immediate visible result. But it is worse than that. If this massive siphoning of resources continues, the viability of the United States will be destroyed from within. This is not the result of the war in Ukraine. It is a self-inflicted, mortal wound. The product of leftist extreme stupidity. The U.S. goes Venezuelan. An explanation from the Universal 7, Cybernetic Governance and Management Approach. Venezuela is a very rich country. However, its people are leaving the country, and those that do not, are suffering. This is happening because of a dysfunctional socialist government. For a different reason, the same misfortune is beginning to decimate the United States. Here you will see a clear explanation, based on the Universal Governance and Management System. Stafford Beer's viable system model has been available for 5 decades, waiting for the world to catch up. The United States government and U.S. corporations have refused to adopt a better and more efficient language to deal with the complexity of the modern world. Today there is an urgent reason to pay attention to what his discoveries mean. The viability of the United States is on the line. This is a sad truth. A viable system has 3 elements. A system, a management or government, and a relevant environment. This model is as good as a universal law of organizations. For now, let's say the arrows connecting them are the universal laws of control. They operate as a self-adjusting thermostat, keeping the system running under many different conditions. This is what makes it viable, meaning capable of an independent existence. Every corporation, big or small, can be described this way. Control of the reality called the business environment is done with 2 steps. You control your company's system to extract what you need from your business environment. You need materials, machinery, labor and energy to produce the good or services you will then exchange to continue the circle of life. With Stafford's guidance, I have proved that the United States, a nation-state, as organized by the U.S. Constitution, has embraced this universal cybernetic model. You have a government, the people with all its productive processes, and a relevant environment called the U.S. territory. This is a viable system, capable of an independent existence. Perhaps, it is easier to see it this way. But notice how this viability has been put at risk. This is the route to a Venezuelan USA. Influenced by World Economic Forum ideas, the Biden administration has unilaterally strangled the domestic energy lifeline of United States of America. They have done this without the need to amend the U.S. Constitution. In the name of a Green New Deal, applied as a matter of public policy, Biden has cut America's access to domestic oil, which it is vitally dependent on. The absurdity of this measure is that consumption of gasoline continues at exorbitant prices. The White House is lining the pockets of other oil-producing competitor nations. If this goes on, the U.S. economy will bleed to death. This illustration clearly shows how the resources available in the U.S. territory are bypassed. The consumers are squeezed out of their hard-earned money through inflation. But it is not inflation only. It is the lack of oil supply from the U.S., in other words, scarcity created by decree. While all this is happening, the Democrats are busy and trying to distract everyone with a third attempt to impeach Donald Trump in absentia. Notice the sham trial, with congressmen reading from a carefully elaborated script. The show's preparation cost $8 million. Needless to say, the U.S. Constitution is a recursive structure, meaning it repeats itself at state, county and local levels. Every state has its own government, its own people, and its own territory. The states should have a voice in this radical policy. It will bankrupt the country. Venezuela 2.0. No wonder 1 million people showed up to protest on January 6 of 2021. Sometimes, the collective intelligence can foretell what most individuals cannot. I hope that the universal management system, which evolved from the viable system model, will help patriotic American citizens open their eyes and see what is really going on. This is what the United States system is meant to look like. A government of the people, by the people and for the people. Go do the right thing, right?